everybody, and welcome to Superquest Saga, the show where we here at the Dungeon Cast sit around the table and play some Dungeons and Dragons. My name is Will Stark, and I will be your triumphant Dungeon Master for this evening. And let's just get into it today, guys.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty sure the audience knows who you guys are at this point.
I would hope so.
So we'll skip introductions.
You know me.
Jake.
And last time we played, you guys had a run-in with the Imperial Elves, and then there was a huge firefight between the Elves and the Illithids. Victoria made an ill-advised Ethereum jump, and ended up burning out the Ethereum cores. And you guys are now
That's space energy, right?
It's complicated.
It's
and
gasoline.
You'll probably learn a lot about
gas.
it, but it's not gasoline because she had to use actual gasoline to get you guys where you are now on a standard burn jump.
It's
it's like a
super
hybrid?
gasoline.
Yeah, she did a hyperspace jump to get you guys where you guys are, but that's a more primitive and less feasible way of space travel. Either way,
Fuck you, Star Wars.
she traced an Ethereum reading to this barren old goblin outpost of a planet called Meridar 3. And we last left with you guys hovering above this brown planet. So you guys find yourself in the lower atmosphere of this planet. And below you, you guys can see a desolate and barren wasteland. It's all rock, dirt, hills, and sparse, gnarled shrubbery. It's just like a dead world.
This is how most trilogies end.
Or start on the desolate.
Well, no,
dirt
it's
planet.
Meridar 3.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You're right.
All besides you guys' bantering is quiet in the cockpit, and Dag speaks up and he says, "I got a ping on the location, cuz 10 clicks to the southeast." Victoria silently turns the ship about 45 degrees, and you guys are sailing in the lower atmosphere.
You have some sort of locator in your box there.
You see that Dag seems to be looking at his screen and like tapping keys. And you see that all the seats have their own screen, but your guys' screens are all black and off.
I just want to
What's a
start
click?
poking stuff.
Nothing happens.
How far is a click? I know.
My thing's
I have no
probably-
idea. Can anyone hear me out there?
What
Any
is-
one of the members of this crew? Can you hear
Everyone
the words
turns
I'm-
and looks at you guys.
Can somebody explain to us what the Sam hell is going on here? What are we doing?
Victoria says, we're trying to find Ethereum so that we can launch our ship further out into space and we can actually get to a place with actual
Why do we
people.
want to go back to space? I want to be on land. This looks like a good spot to
Look,
me.
if you want to stay here, I'll leave you here. Any other questions
Sorry.
before we land?
What sort of?
Good. And she turns back to directing the ship. And as she says this, you guys come over the crest of a hill, and you actually see kind of a quite the landscape. You see essentially what looks like a battleship graveyard of battleships, big and small, shattered and scattered all across the plains, and they're actually interspersed by tall towers of glass and metal. It's essentially it's a city. You guys out of character recognize this as a city that's been tarnished by war and has spaceships crashed all over it. And along the skyline of the city up ahead, there's this titanic battleship leaning like a great sinking ship in the sea, about 500 feet high. And Victoria sees this ship and she goes, "That's where our Ethereum is." Do you guys say anything?
So who lives here?
We going in there?
Watt says, "Well, nobody now. It used to be a goblin outpost, but it was wiped out during the Second Goblin War."
So there was 3.
There was 3. So the ship approaches this other giant goblinoid vessel. And when you guys get within probably a mile of it, the ship seems to light up a bit, and suddenly you guys are under fire.
Oh shit!
From this giant vessel, and it rocks the ship. And Victoria's like, "Damn, its defense systems are still active." And you guys feel the ship rock. And Watt says, "We've taken a direct hit, Captain."
Of course.
She goes, "Hold on to your butts." And she takes
Hold on
evasive
to my
maneuvers.
butt.
In the last Jurassic Park reference I'm going to make, hold on to your butts. And she takes evasive movement.
see about that.
And you guys are...
Life finds a way, Will.
You guys are jerked around. She's taking all these maneuvers, and eventually she takes you up and over the ship. and you guys seem to have gotten out from under fire, but then an alarm system goes off and the ship starts to descend at an alarming rate. And
I'm alarmed.
yeah, and everyone else seems pretty alarmed, and Victoria seems to just be in complete concentrated silence. And you guys are fast coming down onto the ground, and the ship ends up crashing down with a mighty crunch and grind as it slides and skids over tough terrain, and finally comes to a stop.
I'm perfectly fine because I was holding my butt.
Okay, for sure. give me a Constitution check for Whiplash.
Okay.
All of us are just him.
All
'cause
of
he's
you.
holding his butt. Oh, okay.
Saving throw like that?
Yeah,
14.
5.
you're good.
14.
Carter, your neck hurts.
I held my butt too hard.
You held your butt too hard.
Too worried about it, but
I sprained my butt. I pulled on it.
So once the ship comes to a crashed stop, Victoria checks around. Is everyone all right?
yeah.
I held my butt far too hard.
She ignores that. All the other crew members are saying, "Yes, we're good. Yes, we're good, Captain." And
Just rolling my,
Yes, we're
my
good.
neck.
that's
Kink out.
nice. There you go. Well, Victoria says, "Then everyone suit up. We need that Ethereum, or we're all gonna die on this rock."
I'm already suited up, right?
No, you're super. Well, kinda, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Watt is messing around with his computer, and he says, "The air is thin, but seems to be breathable." Victoria says, "Think order for small blessings. You all go ahead. I'll meet you outside." At this point, Dag, one of the tiefling males, stands up, and he says, "Let's go then, ladies and gents. Time to gear up." And he kind of waves to the four of you.
Okay. I will follow the, like, is this like a group activity? Like everybody's going?
Everyone. So the gift lady gets up. Both the tiefling twins. Watt gets up. Primina obviously gets up.
While we're walking
Everyone
over,
go Victoria.
I'm just going to set myself shoulder to shoulder with the Gith woman.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be, so what's your story?
None of your business.
Apologies. Name's Carter Huttenberg.
She does not shake your hand, and she says,
A lot of that going on. A lot of that going on.
"You may call me Ira, and we are not friends. I simply tolerate your presence due to the captain. If you ask me, the four of you are bad luck.
Bad luck. There's no such thing. Now I am
If you'll please get out of my way."
still pleased to make your acquaintance.
She makes her way past you.
Okay, I'll follow her.
Dag sees that whole interaction. He just kind of smiles and shakes his head. He's like, "Come on."
Okay, I'm just trailing her.
And then if you move towards Dag, he holds out his hands. "Name's Dag. Nice to meet you."
Not a pleasure, Dad. Carter Huttenberg.
Nice to meet you, Carter. She's a tough one.
That's yep. I like him. tough.
All right, follow me and we'll head to the armory.
You know, she did
Ooh,
have
I
a
like the
point.
armories.
We have crashed like 3 times already. And we're like in like a big space battle and stuff. Like she's got a point. Hi, I'm Percy, by the way.
Nice to
Dag.
meet you, Percy.
Hi.
Name's Dak. This is my brother Dirk. And then Dirk, his twin, they're identical.
Oh, you guys are the same.
Indeed we are. That is cool. As a matter of fact, they say, "Indeed we are," in unison.
Oh, that is, I like it. Wow.
So you guys head down the elevator and down a couple hallways, and you guys find yourselves in that same room where you originally kind of armed up. And I sent you guys ahead of time like a whole list of like all the available equipment. So we'll go over what you guys chose, but there's guns and weapons and armors and whatnot, and everyone seems to be gearing up. What is it that you guys grabbed? We'll start with Carter. We'll start with
I already told you what I grabbed.
I know, but you tell the audience what you grabbed.
I don't remember.
Okay, well we'll start with Sebastian
Then
then.
you'll find that information.
Okay.
I grabbed, I love my heavy armor, so I had to grab some heavy armor. It's called the CM Matrix Guard Suit.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the heavy armor.
Yeah.
To get a little boost in my AC again, get back to my my original AC 19 because I got a nice shield as well. And then I got a, was it Aether Blade?
Aether Blade.
Aether Blade, yeah. So it's kind of like I'm assuming like an axe almost, or is it like a sword?
You get the choice between like almost like a lightsaber type sword or like an axe like we discussed earlier.
Okay.
It's up to you.
I just want the one-handed weapon so I can have my shield. So
It's up to you whether it's
so
sword
it's
or axe.
either one. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I'll take an axe version of it.
Okay,
I think
for sure.
more fitting for my guy.
Absolutely.
And then I wanted to grab something ranged, so I'm going to grab a plasma auto cannon, which is a 2-handed heavy laser cannon, pretty much. So
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
it'll be fun.
Yeah,
I think I grabbed like a shovel, I think too, and like some other like small equipment stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah, keep track of the stuff that you grab because
The
that
shovel,
may
I
or
think.
may not be very important. So was it just a shovel? Did you grab any other smaller equipment?
I can look.
Okay.
Check.
What about you, Persephone?
I'll go up to Dag or Dirk and ask him, I don't really know how to use this thing very much, and I want to be holding the pistol, and I totally want to pull the trigger on accident.
Oh gosh. He's like, whoa.
So, it's a little...
You hold it like this.
It's a little not my speed.
He grabs it from you. He grabs it from you,
Oh, okay.
and then he like demonstrates. He does like the 007 kind of.
Do you have something kind of more like a, I do well with sticks, quarter stabs.
we
you have
go-
something like that around?
We have some aether blades.
Some aether blades. What about
The big one he was using earlier.
what about the? Could I look at? Or are those spear things still the thing the elves used?
The elves'
little
weaponry.
forks.
It's probably still lying around the hangar.
Ooh, I want to go get that. Could I
Well,
go
well,
look? Or-
if you wait up,
is that where we're
we'll be
going?
generating
Okay,
through the hangar to get outside.
Okay, I'll holster that and be like, just general supplies. Other than that, whatever I can grab. That's about it.
I remember I couldn't find it because I changed phones.
Okay.
And there was something weird. I couldn't go back in the text messages.
Gotcha.
But I remember that there were 2 pistols I wanted to grab.
Yes, you did.
Okay. And I had one already, so I only grabbed one.
Right.
Okay. And then I remember there were batteries.
Yes.
I want to grab the batteries.
You grab batteries.
He took the shovel. Somebody else took the shovel.
I got the shovel.
He's got the shovel.
A water canteen, travel pack, and some rations.
I took.
Stuff.
I'll take whatever's left over of that also.
Of what?
The travel pack. Everything he just
There
said.
was
travel pack and
another.
rations.
There was 2 travel packs.
So they took them before I did.
He took one.
And she took one.
Oh, you took one. Okay,
took,
so
like,
yeah, no more
general
travel
supplies,
packs.
yeah.
Okay, so I'll grab rope. There was rope.
We'll say yes.
Okay, I grab rope. I'm gonna write that down. It's fucking important in this game.
I feel like I should have stressed that keeping track of it was important, and I didn't. I
I
apologize.
thought I would be able to reference it. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, the 2 pistols. Can I take the big one, the big thing too, the big laser gun cannon?
Yeah, you can. It's heavy though. How strong are you?
Not strong enough to.
It's
wanna
a big
do
one.
It.
It's like I don't know, like a minigun or I don't
Yeah,
know.
like
It's
you carry
huge.
a Gatling gun kind
Yeah,
of thing on the side of
exactly.
you. Yeah, fuck it. Was there like a lighter? I remember that.
There's a lighter. Yeah, well, I mean
take-
there are lighters. You can have a lighter.
I'll take anything utility I can grab.
Okay,
So
so there's a lighter. Flashlight. There's a
Yes.
couple flashlights.
Oh,
I probably don't know what the fuck that is. I'm
That's
like,
true. You don't. That's a good point.
what the hell is this?
Do you actually ask that?
I'll probably just like point. I'll take somebody and be like, what is that? Now what is this? It's
Okay.
And when the lighters happen,
Makes
I'll be like,
sense,
is this
yeah.
like a piece of flint attached to a little tiny circular bladed sword? Like,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't actually know how it works. It just does.
interesting. I probably like they show me how to use it, and I like get interested in the stuff and like try to like break down its like pieces and things.
Okay,
to
for
help me
sure.
understand it.
Yeah. As you guys are being quizzical about these everyday objects, you're getting like really weird looks from the crew, and you
Telling
can
me
tell
light
they're
just comes out of this. Whoa. Holy
Exactly.
Oh God.
and I mean, these are the looks of people who are kind of in disbelief. Like, are these guys for real? Like, did they really? Is what they're saying true?
What sort of
You
pagan
can see
magic
the
is
wheels
this?
turning in their heads.
I didn't even use a spell slot.
How did you get the sun in that small little container there?
I'll actually be grabbing stuff with my mage hand and stuff too. Does
Okay.
that like rouse anybody?
No,
Oh damn. Okay.
no, this isn't a world where magic died. No, there's plenty of fucking magic in this world.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll say you guys are geared up.
All right.
You guys head back through the hangar. Persephone, you see 6 volt spears for the taking. You take whichever one you want.
Can I take one too?
Sure.
Have it?
You're
Or is it
getting kind of inundated
okay.
there with the
I had a
giant
feeling
gun
by
in the
that,
pack.
Couldn't hurt to ask.
Sorry.
So, all right.
Could I roll for like an investigation to see just to find the coolest one? I know they're
Sure.
all probably the same.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But, I rolled a 17.
Okay.
I've already rolled.
I've already rolled
after
for
you
this.
rolled
Next
that one.
time, wait for the
I'm
roll.
sorry. I'm sorry.
What's your favorite color?
What's her favorite color?
Yeah, there we go. What's her favorite color? Because you find one with a tint of that color to it.
Like purple.
There we go. It's got like a purple kind of silver
that's
kind
dope.
of tint to it. There you go.
This is the
Purple
one.
volt spear. So you guys actually find that the way the ship is landed, the hangar flight entrance is actually level with the ground outside. And outside you can see it's like barren wasteland. And yeah, like Dag and all them just start marching out. I don't know if you guys just follow, but
Maybe we should take,
you would.
Follow them, but in maybe an hour from now.
What?
I'm quite weary. I'm out of spell slots and a little low on my hit points.
You hear Dag, "Oh, why you three straggling?" And then Primitive standing there, like, "Why are we straggling?"
You didn't hear me? I'm very tired. I'm so tired. Maybe we could rest
I
here
am
for a
too.
little while before we head out.
Oh, do you say that for Dag to hear?
Dag, yeah.
Okay. He kind of gives you a kind of an investigative look, and then he looks at the three of you. He's all, "The three of you look a little worse for wear, don't you?" Don't worry, I got something for that. And he reaches into his pocket and he hands each of you this small
Luna
white
bar.
pack. No, not a Luna bar. This small white kind of like cloth patch.
Okay.
He goes, "Slap that on your arm. It's a Revigor patch."
No, I've never smoked. You don't understand.
Feels like it's a nicotine.
No, yeah, I look at it and yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, you smack it on your wrist or whatever. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
You all three of you do this?
I'm hesitant. I want to look at it. I want to investigate it. See if I can.
It looks like a plain white cloth patch. Nothing
like a
special to it
gauze
whatsoever.
patch.
I'll see
Okay.
him doing that and I'll slap it on. I'll go, "Oh!"
I'll drop it. I'll drop it on the ground.
I'm just kidding with you, my man. This
Damn
feels-
it, Carter.
Carter,
I'm assuming,
Carter.
I assume it feels
feel
great.
This adrenaline rush.
I get a
as, like
boner.
you're re-energizing. You get a boner. Yes, and you get a boner.
No.
No, I'm kidding. But all your stuff's back. You get all your slots. You get all your hit die and everything.
What?
Yes.
I'm picking mine off the ground now, and
Okay.
I'm gonna put it
So
on.
all of you get all your stuff back, and then Dad kind of smiles. You'll don't thank me yet. You'll be feeling that later.
This is cool. Can I have more of these?
You don't want more of these.
Sure.
Pretty sure I do.
You,
This
trust
is
me.
pretty awesome.
Trust me. You don't
Fire
want
all my
it.
spell slots. Give me another patch.
I'm not doing that. So yeah, I take it you guys exit the hangar, right?
Oh,
And I've
this
been
place is
auto-failing
amazing.
I've been auto-failing all my persuasion.
Yeah, you guys feel incredible, by the way.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like my eyes are just like bugged out right now. So yeah.
God, what have I done?
Like three servings of pre-workout right now. It's like "Ugh."
So
Dark Rage.
Dark Rage.
So when you guys go outside, you find Victoria is kind of just standing out there and just looking at her ship and looking very upset. Out on the outskirts of kind of the area where the ship's landed, you see that robot that needed the password earlier, and he's like walking around with these giant metal poles and like sticking them into the ground and making a perimeter around the ship.
I'll see her looking like solemn, and I'll go over to her and be like, "Don't worry, darling. I've seen 3 ships, and yours was by far the worst looking one before, so nothing's changed if you think about it." Wow. And I'll pat her on the back, and I'll continue on.
She ignores what you said, and she's just like, "My baby," and she looks very upset.
I'll walk by and just look at Sebastian, just be like, "Man, he thinks he's helping and he thinks he's doing something.
I'll-
It's just,
I'll-
it's never that. It's never good."
And I'll walk up to Victoria and put my hand on her shoulder. Any way we can help, we'll help you. Thank you for your help.
She was a dick to you. Were kidnapped.
Well, now she's saving our lives.
She's helping us now.
We all have, I guess. I don't know.
This is
Yeah.
interesting.
Is there?
At this point,
when you say
because
this-
I realize, because Sebastian realizes his only chance of survival is to be on her side, like to help her
Clever
guide
boy.
him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because we're lost, we have no idea where we're at, when we're at.
Well,
So
I
I
mean-
think Sebastian's like,
I completely agree with that,
Yeah.
but I also don't have to be nice to her.
no, you don't have to. But Sebastian's thought process is like, okay, I need to kind of butter her up a little bit because, we need her on our side right now.
Also, she did save you guys from the elves. She like hid you guys away and pretended like you were part of her crew.
I thought that was because she felt that was in her best interest,
Well,
not necessarily in ours.
there are reasons, but that ain't them. But you don't know that, so maybe
Yeah,
that's what you think.
that's what I'm assuming.
Okay, so Sebastian, when you say that, she doesn't say anything, but she kind of like nods her head, and she's got her head in her hands like this, and she's going through
She
through
got
it right
to
now.
some shit.
So after a moment, she has her emotional moment, she says, "All right," and she pulls up her arm, and you notice And you've probably noticed, and I just haven't mentioned it, all the members of this crew have this bracer on their left arm.
Yeah,
that has
we
like a
remember that
computer
from last
screen
time.
in it.
I do.
Okay. And she starts tapping stuff, and she goes, the Aether Source appears to be 5 clicks northwest of here. And she points up like a tremendous hill that's like right next to you guys, between where you guys landed and the crazy ship and city and whatnot.
How much movement speed is a click?
I really don't know what a click is.
Yeah, I think we will continue to ask these questions of the people who keep saying these
We're gonna know
foreign
the shit out
terms.
of them probably, but
So what's a click in terms of miles or kilometers or?
Clicks about a mile.
All right.
She goes, Watt, you and Artax are to stay here and begin any imperative repairs immediately. The girl stays here as well, and she looks at Primina. She goes, the rest of us are going to head out and retrieve the Aether. You four, I don't know what's really going on with you, and frankly, I don't care. I won't blame you for that bad business with the damn pointy ears, but if I get any sense of treachery, or if you refuse to follow my orders out there, I will not hesitate to leave you on this rock to rot. That being said, if you help us, I will give you free passage on my ship. Do you have any questions?
Just salute. Aye, Captain. You know, a little sarcastically.
She nods when you do that.
Super not sarcastic about it.
She nods when you do that.
Sebastian's just going to nod in agreement, like,
Cool,
yep.
cool beans. Primina speaks them. She goes, I want to go with them. And Victoria says, absolutely not. You're staying here. You'll be a liability if anything. And then Watt speaks up.
Yeah, why is
She's
that?
super strong.
We don't know what she is, Victoria says.
That's also true.
But
That
Watt
is
speaks
true.
up at this point, and he says, well, we could use the help, Prim. If you're willing to help me and Artax, we could use the extra hands. And then Primina says, okay. And then he hands her a wrench that he pulls out of his pocket. He's like, let's get to it then.
Say, learn what you can, darling.
Right. Okay.
Be on my way.
She nods.
Be safe.
And then she's like, wait. And then she comes up to the three of you. She goes, I never thanked you three for saving me. And she gives you guys a bow. Thank you so much.
Sebastian's just going to bow back.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're welcome.
We'll see you when we're back.
And then she runs off into the ship after Watt. At this point, Victoria says, then let's head out.
I think as we're walking out, I want to look back and look at the spaceship because I haven't seen it from the outside
Yeah.
yet. So I just want to kind of take it in, like, this is what we've been traveling.
Right.
And it's kind of like trying to wrap my head around, like,
It's
dude, we've been
huge.
flying in a fucking spaceship. It's
Yeah.
it's like,
I know.
what the fuck? So it's starting to sink in now because everything's
Right.
gone like by so quick. I think now that we're walking, I'm going to look back at this spaceship and be like, what? Just like, just taking it all in.
I know it seems like a bad dream.
Yeah.
Right.
Very
This hasn't
surreal.
ended.
Yeah.
I mean, that's out of character. In character, it's not really phased me.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. hard to phase me.
So you guys begin your ascent up this, not quite a mountain, but a really big hill. It's kind of like the foothills here in Southern California that aren't quite mountains. It's like one of those.
Superquest Saga brought to you from the heartlands of Southern California.
Indeed. So this hill it's covered in enormous boulders, and the only like living things on it are these strange, squat, thick bushes with no leaves. Quite frankly, they look dead, but they're obviously not because they're like when you reach out to touch them, they're sturdy and they seem to be living.
Could I do like a nature check? Would I notice that as being a plant of some sort?
Yeah, it is a
living
plant
thing.
What are you trying to check out with this nature check?
Just that if I know if it's a plant, because I'm going to run straight to that thing if it's a plant.
Oh, it is a plant.
Oh, yes.
It is a plant for sure.
Okay, I want to run over to it. Be like,
Okay,
oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. And they're scattered.
yes.
Yeah, they're scattered all over the hill.
Yeah, I just want to go up to the
Go ahead
first
and give
one
me a
that I
nature
can.
check though.
Sure. That's 21.
Okay. So sad story. These things are alive, but like they're in a sorry state.
Oh, no.
And as you've been looking around this planet, there's like no life almost anywhere.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're on this dying world, and you do notice, all three of you, that you're able to breathe, but it's kind of a little difficult.
I'll just put my hand on it and be like, oh, you sweet poor baby. I'm so sorry. It was just nice to see you. And it was nice to see, all your little scattered dead friends too. I mean, it's just so desolate and sandy, and I needed some nature. I'm so sorry.
You have some.
I do, yes.
I'll just ask some crew while we're talking. So what's all the hullabaloo with these goblins warring about? Seems like they did it quite a bit. This is I must say, impressive.
So, So Dag speaks up and he's like, yeah, goblins are always causing trouble here and there. Them and the Cyber Federation have had 3 major wars that have spanned the galaxy.
Oh.
Do with that information what you will.
I log it.
This used to be one of the worlds. Apparently, either the elves or the Cyber Federation obliterated it.
Thank you.
As elves do, apparently.
Carter probably just like not like,
Right.
It doesn't, that's not really, sticking as relevant, It's like, I don't know what it's like. It's like hearing about 2 other countries warring,
Right,
It's like,
right.
Well, I don't
very
live
much
there.
So after
I probably should care at some level.
So after about 30 minutes of travel, Victoria is at that point and she looks back and she's like, you 3, come up here. I want to talk. I want to talk to the 3 of you.
Without hesitation, Sebastian would go up.
Okay.
Make it.
So when you guys are kind of up front and the rest of the group is kind of falling back a little bit. So this is like a private conversation between you and Victoria.
I did it faster. I used my dash action to do it faster than everybody else.
Okay, cool. You get there faster.
I
than
shake
everyone
my
else.
head. Like,
Fucking run like Naruto.
She looks at the 3 of you as you guys are all walking shoulder to shoulder, and she goes, "So I've decided to just believe you to make things simpler. You're time displaced, whatever. You don't know anything about anything, whatever. I think there's something bigger going on here. We were nowhere near Imperial territory. Those elves showed up looking for something." And I don't know what you know about this Primina girl, but it obviously has something to do with her. What do you know about this girl?
I'll tell you, not a lot. I know that
not much.
I get some hot reads on angelic and devilish type. It was devil, right? Or demon.
Yeah, you got Fiend.
something.
Fiend.
Well, actually, he
I
got
got it,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, he got that.
But did we talk about it? Do I know? I feel like I would know at some level.
Sure.
I
We'll
mean,
just go with it.
I make the assumption
I think
she speaks.
Sebastian would have mentioned something, the kind of reading he was getting.
I probably know something's up because she spoke deep speech and nothing else. So I'll relay that. Like, well, she can. Well, I don't know if I want this lady to know that I speak deep speech. I don't know. That seems like a really like. Well, I'll just tell her before the Babblefish. Yeah, my Babble robot. What are they called? You call them translators. Can we workshop that?
Sure.
Okay. Well, later. Unless somebody has something good, in the moment. But yes, before the translators were installed,
They're just on your ears. You
whatever.
can just take it off.
I mean,
Screw it in.
before the introduction of the translator, we couldn't understand a word she said.
Interesting. Do you know what she was speaking?
She wasn't. I couldn't understand. No one could understand her.
She was also the
Seemed very afraid. Yeah.
battery, or what made the ship go when we blasted off. Seemed to be.
That's interesting. I mean, I don't think the girl is nefarious, or at least she doesn't seem it, but there's something going on there.
I'm pretty sure she turned into a giant bat or something.
She did turn into something. I don't know what.
Yeah, she seems to have some sort of defense mechanism. I'm not sure what that is.
Hell of
I've
one,
never
yeah.
seen anyone her species before.
Me neither. It's a little new. I mean, that when we found ourselves adrift, when you found us, we were a prisoner of sorts. Put it like that. Prisoners of our own stupidity.
That is true.
No, I'll probably say prisoners of our own curiosity, if you will. Trapped aboard a vessel lost into outer space, a place which I have never been. Vast and wide and cold and amazing.
So if I'm to believe your story, I would imagine that you have a million questions to ask. Well, we ain't got nothing but dirt and boulders between here and where we're going, so now's a good time.
Honestly, I thought you'd have more questions for us about what we were sent here by our king looking for a magical signature, the likes of which our people had never seen.
So the girl probably.
Yeah. Well, did it end up being her?
Yeah, probably.
Look, I don't really need to know your story.
Okay.
I'm willing to help you out. Once we get off this rock, I'll drop you off wherever.
Can you send us home?
No, I have no capability of sending you home. I'm not a scientist. I have no idea how you got here.
What is it that you do exactly?
I'm-
specifically. Are you one of these scrappers like those elven men claimed?
I am a scrapper, and I claim that, not the elven men. But
yeah, you did. Sorry.
we do a little bit of everything, is what we do.
So you're a
don't worry
bard
about
or a rogue.
What?
So I
What?
said, so you're a bard or a rogue.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You do a little bit of everything? No?
Indeed.
No?
So any
This
questions?
is Dungeons and Dragons. You should
Okay,
know
this
what I'm
conversation is
talking
going nowhere.
I had one super specific one. Everybody keeps on calling me a singer. I don't know what that is. Should I like burst out in song? Is that what people are expecting of me? What exactly does that mean?
She says, so
I feel like I
you,
boofed that.
we met the elves.
Yeah,
You saw what they were like.
they were jerks.
That's an understatement.
Yeah,
She says your people, the Furbolg, they don't call themselves that anymore. They're called the Singers, and they're slaves to the Elven Empire.
Ooh.
They with their magic song, they're supposed to be the gardeners and cultivators of their Seldarine trees that they use to fly their ships.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're assembled into choirs. There's a choir on every Imperial ship.
Interesting.
That's cool. I mean, I don't have.
There are free singers out there,
Yeah.
those born outside of the Empire and outside of their reach. But all Furbolg that are within the clutches of the Empire are essentially bred like cattle.
So for future references, if an elf asks me if I have left my coven,
Choir.
choir. Well, you say coven.
I know
Good.
that.
Okay.
Retcon. I meant to say choir.
Okay, choir.
Yeah.
I should say no. I was born free.
Yes.
Sort of
There we go.
situation.
There we
Okay,
go.
okay.
You got it.
Okay, that's cool.
Dobby is a free elf.
Free.
Mister gave Dobby a sock. That was my main issue of just like knowing how to answer that. That's all.
Where do people live? Everywhere? Not here, obviously.
All across the galaxy, there's thousands of planets full to the brim of population.
What's your favorite one? What's the one you like?
She just points at her ship.
Okay, that's weird.
I'm not partial to
Where are you from?
people.
Where are you from?
Okay. When I said questions, I didn't mean questions about me. Let's personal Victoria business, not your business.
Can I roll a persuasion to make her tell me?
No, but you can roll an insight check.
Okay, I'll do that. I've been touching it so much. Oh, there it is. Okay. 6 plus 0.
Okay.
6.
It's enough to realize that she got really defensive. Like, obviously, she don't want to talk about her past.
Whatever.
What is the planet with the most life on it?
I don't know. I mean, there's capital planets all over. Probably Arvandor, the Elven capital planet.
I should avoid that place.
Yeah, no joke.
So, back in the ship, you had someone look up some information about the orcs. I'm kind of curious if I could have access to that information. Sounds like my ancestors were slaughtered, and I kind of want to know the history if possible.
Yeah, the elves have a tendency for annihilation. Yeah,
what's
you
up
have to
with
talk to Watt.
What's up with those elves?
They're the most powerful beings in the galaxy. They have the most territory, the most powerful army. Don't mess with elves. They're not like the rest of us.
I have an issue with elves.
They live forever. They
I'm
don't
an elf, I
age.
know.
They're naturally stronger and smarter than
Live
pretty much
forever?
everyone. Yeah, they're immortal.
What?
If I put my axe through their neck, will they live forever?
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
we killed a whole
that'll.
bunch
Well, I
of
mean,
them.
yes, we
That's-
definitely
they're biologically
right
immortal.
now, as this conversation is happening, Sebastian's. You can. I'll let everybody know that
Tightening
you can
his hand
see
over his
is like
weapon.
he's
Okay.
getting angry right
She
now.
sees
like,
it. She
he's
goes.
like
She looks at you.
like-
She goes, "Listen to me 3 times. Listen to me. I know where you're coming from. Do not mess with the pointy ears."
He's just like staring at her, like
Do not.
he's trying to like calm himself down, but he's like
Not worth it.
That orc side of him's kind of like starting to flame up a little bit in him, which
Think
he's
of
not
them-
used to because he's grown up more human than orc. So
Right.
now he's like this untapped like aggression starting to come through him now,
She
and he's
says,
just like
think of them like a hurricane. You don't fight a hurricane, you just endure it.
It's like he'll nod and try to calm down, but he's still carrying that anger.
Yeah, Carter's not paying attention. He's just like mulling it over in his head, like most powerful creatures in the galaxy.
So
They derive their power from their god emperor.
so with Sebastian, we haven't had a chance to talk about it, but he carries a holy symbol, like a coin with his god on it, and like he does like try to pray once in a while. Is there throughout this time, I haven't mentioned that he's doing it, but would he be able to like notice anything different as he's praying? Does it seem like he can't communicate with his god at all, or does it?
Yeah, if you try, do you try and like reach out?
Yeah, like he's
some
trying
point?
I mean, different times.
So we'll
just
say
kinda,
that different times throughout the adventure, you've taken a moment to try and reach out. Every time you've been met by utter silence and lack of power.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that anytime he has like he's about to go out on on an adventure or go do something, he touches his coin to try to reach out for like protection and stuff. And
And you
I
felt
felt
nothing.
nothing. Okay.
Absolutely nothing.
so that'll lead me to my next question for victoriously. I don't know the status of religion in this world. For some reason, every time I try to pray to my God, I can't get a reading. I don't know what's in the world of the gods is. I don't know. I'm just confused. I don't know. I noticed that you said some prayers, so I don't know what kind of God you may answer to or communicate with. But the God I communicate with, I can't. I'm dumbfounded. I don't know.
You keep saying gods. What faiths do you follow?
I follow.
Are you a follower of the orders and the passions? Are you a primal worshiper?
I don't know. None of that sounds familiar to me.
So in your time, there are still gods.
Yeah, there's individual gods for everything.
I've heard of this before, but there are no. The only gods that get spoken of is the elven god emperor. But he's no god. He's just a powerful elf. There are no gods.
So this is tripping Sebastian out right now because it's like he's a religious paladin. He's like he's used to be able to communicate. He's a holy warrior pretty much, and he just like he feels lost right now.
And that's
It's
who
like,
they draw their power from? Is that elf you mentioned? The warrior king god?
Do you ask her that?
You mentioned it earlier.
Well, she said that. She says they derive their power from their god emperor.
Yeah. So is that? Yeah. I'll follow up. Is that is that who their god emperor is? This figurehead?
They worship him as a true god, but the situation's more complicated than that. And like, quite frankly, my knowledge is limited when it comes to him.
If you don't mind me asking, I noticed that you've said some prayers. Who are you praying to then? I don't understand.
I follow the divine path of unity. There are
confused.
9 divine faiths of the orders and passions. Okay. I used to be a member of the Church of Unity, but I left some time ago. Somehow I've retained my ability to invoke it, but I'm actually not sure how or why.
So you're a cleric.
So-
She's some sort of cleric then?
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
So the orcs are dead. It sounds like my god is dead.
The legends,
And he's just like,
Yeah.
he's zoned out now.
yeah,
He's
the
like,
legends
what
say
the
the gods passed from time long ago, but the 9 divine paths are above and beyond any of the deities. They're the very essences that bind the universe together. There's 9 of them. There is honor, unity, cultivation, enmity, ruin. I'm trying to remember.
yeah.
Passion, and dominion, and
Heart.
no, and there's balance. Each of these essences are like they're singularities that exist outside of the influence of the universe, and they bind the universe together. And enough conviction and faith in any of these given teachings can grant a person power.
So cultures across the galaxy believe in ideals.
Yeah,
rather
the 9 divine ideals are probably the most common, but there are those who worship what we call primals, and they're like elemental beings and whatnot. Your singer friend here probably worships one. Do you not? How is it that you are able to change into the form of beasts? So
I just always have. I mean, the moon, I want to say.
So back in your time on your land, you guys worshipped, or not so much worship, but like you were in tune and in touch with the spirit of the world itself, the world
Communal
spirit.
with the spirit. Okay.
Yeah. And so that is where like your power kind of comes from the world spirit of the planet that you lived on. And so, that's just some information you should know.
Yeah.
Now you know it.
It was derived from my planet, from its energies, its juices.
It's often that most planets have a primal spirit of sorts. So there's plenty of primal religions scattered about.
I might have to look into that because it hurt when I turned into a wolf that one time on the boat or on the ship. Like it hurt. I don't know. That's never happened before.
Yeah, he said it felt like you did a belly flop on your whole body.
Yeah.
Do you still have power now? Without your god?
I'll fire Eldritch Blast just off into like the desert. It's like, oh, sorry, thought I saw something.
I've tried to tap into stuff, but I haven't been able to. Really, haven't even tried. I don't know. I've tried to communicate, but there's been nothing. Try to reach out.
Oh,
do you think is there a way to learn about these?
Look, I'm not affiliated with the Church of Unity anymore, but if we get off this rock, I'll point you to some people that might be able to help you find your faith again.
I'll put my mage hand on his shoulder. I'll be like, it's all right, friend. It'll be all right. Your powers will come back. And my mage hand will like fly in front of him and then back to me.
For sure. Do you guys have any more questions? I think I need a moment to think.
Me too.
I think all of us do at this point. More questions than answers, kind of.
And
also, you said time. We were, displaced. What time? What
time is it?
Yeah. What time?
She looks up and
What
she
year
goes, well, it
is
looks to
it?
be like it's about 3 PM.
Well, like
Planet side.
what year? Because to us, it's like,
You're Alan Parrish from Jumanji.
Yes. What year is it?
She says
Kyle Reese from Terminator.
that is an
What year?
that is an incredibly difficult question to answer depending on who you're asking. There's
That's like asking what year it is on the Sword Coast.
right. There's a lot of different methods of time tracking.
Like, do we come from 2000 BE, like before elves, and then
isn't
elves.
it how it works on the Sword Coast? There's a bunch of different calendars and stuff.
I don't even know, my dude. I'm not a Forgotten Realms man.
I just read on it. I think they have like a bunch of different calendars. So like in our world, it might not be super concrete. Maybe in the region we're from, for sure.
According to the Cyber Federation historians, we are 102,463 years from the prime event that caused the destruction of the original world. I do not know how accurate that actually is. But scientists, they like to say a lot of stuff in confidence and then change it later.
I resent that.
The nature of learning. She goes, okay, I think that's enough. If you guys got more questions, we'll talk later.
So potentially like 100,000 years in the future? Is that what you just said? She said later.
Talk to Watt. Talk to Watt. He's our science guy.
Watt's on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I will when I get back there.
Okay.
Because what the hell?
So you guys are journeying up this hill, and it's actually fucking exhausting because the air's so thin. And you guys are kind of making slower travel than you would on like your on the Prime back in your time.
I squeeze my patch harder. Just to,
you get a little extra juice out of it. Yeah, sure. That's hilarious. After a few hours of travel, you guys come to you're getting close to the top of the hill, and the entire party hears this loud snap sound from behind like these series of huge boulders. Like it's like the cracking of a great branch.
I prep just that sound. I prep my stuff. I got my shield and
Victoria holds up
my
her
blade
hand.
out.
Yeah, and she's like for everyone to stop. Okay. Yeah, and everyone kind of gets ready. They're like, "Oh shit, what was that?" And she looks at the three of you and her cousins, Dag and Dirk, and she waves everyone forward, and she pulls out her pistol, and she seems to be making a movement to go around the boulder and see what the hell's behind it and kind of get the jump on it. Do you guys follow?
Yeah, I go.
I guess. Last, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
How big is this boulder? Like, too big to climb up?
Yeah, it's a series of boulders, but the first one that you guys are approaching is probably about 40 feet high.
Is it nice?
Huge. I mean, yeah, it's a nice boulder. Yeah.
Look at that boulder.
So you guys, I imagine, are all kind of sidled up on the boulder in like a row.
Yeah.
And then she goes, and then Dad goes, and then Dirk goes, and I
I'm
imagine
totally
you
into
three
this.
go.
Yeah. Fucking SWAT team, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so the 6 of you go around the boulder, and you guys find this large reptile creature munching away on one of these weird bush trees. Now this thing, it's stocky and it's squat, but it is quite huge. It probably stands about 4 feet tall from the ground to the shoulder, but it's probably around 12 feet long from the tip of its head to the tip of its tail.
I'm stoked. I'm like,
And it's
My baby.
It's got these long, thick scales that resemble almost like a stone type texture, or even like a ore type texture. And it's got a wide, flat head and small little black eyes and this big old mouth for munching. And it kind of looks at the entire part of you like totally ambivalent, just munching away, and then goes back to munching back on its branches.
I'm stoked. I'm just like, it's a big lizard.
It's a big
It's a
motherfucking
big old
lizard.
It looks harmless. So are we done here?
Yeah, that looks like it was a false alarm. I have no idea what the hell this thing is, but I don't want to get any closer to it.
All right.
And it just munches away, and it begins to lumber off, and it moves over to another bush, and it actually stops in front of the bush, and opens its mouth, and blue fire spurts out of his mouth and like bakes, it crisps the branch or the bush, and then it starts munching on the bush that it
It's
just
a
burned
dragon.
up.
It's like a dragon.
Victoria's like, "Oof, well, that was surprising. Yeah, let's stay the hell away from that thing."
Yes. Let's.
She
cool.
motions
Let's go the
everybody
other
up
way.
the hill.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
But I love it though. Guys.
Come on, Percy.
Do you do anything, Persephone?
Come on, Percy. Come on. Let's just keep going. No, Percy.
No, don't touch the lizard. It's
No.
a good lizard though.
It's toasty. Come on.
You don't want to touch that.
No?
You'll get salmonella. It won't be good.
I can't wash my hands in space. That's true.
You guys hear another snap as it literally like latches its mouth onto the trunk and just breaks it.
I'm just like,
My arms around Percy. Like, come on, Percy. Come on.
You want to be like that trunk?
no.
All right.
I want to love it though.
So you guys journey forth, and after about 30 or so minutes, you finally get to the top of the hill. Kind of. You guys make it to the top of it's like a plateau. So you guys get to the top of the hill, but you still can't even see over the side because it extends about 400 or 500 feet before you even get to the other side. And everyone's ready to take a rest at this point. And so people start like eating their rations and whatnot and taking a break.
Like an hour break?
Hour break.
But I had my hype patch on. What's going on with my hype patch? Is that cool? Am I cool
Oh, it's
for a
worn
while?
off. But I mean, you guys got your slots and shit back.
My juice out
But
of
you
it?
are feeling tired and winded at this point.
I'll kick it.
I'll kick in.
So who has rations and who doesn't?
I don't think I think he
I have
grabbed
some.
all the rations, right?
I grabbed one pack of rations.
Yeah.
I don't know
then-
what.
So you got enough food for 3 meals.
Okay.
I would have grabbed one too.
Yeah, if those were available, I grabbed it.
Okay, sure. So you guys have your rations, and I'll take it you have your water too.
Yeah.
See, I wanted to do something with this, but now I can't because we didn't establish how important it was what you guys chose.
Oh, well,
if
we
you-
have them.
That's fair.
Yeah, but just never mind.
Okay.
Because you guys, I think 2 of you chose rations and one of you guys didn't,
Yeah,
and that
so I
was
think
going
there's
to
only
affect stuff, but I
2
can't remember who
available.
did what. So,
I think there was only
Oh yeah,
two
there was
available.
2 of 3,
Yeah.
and they went before me. I was too busy asking questions.
well,
So
I made sure there was enough rations of water and food for everyone. I was waiting to see who decided to
didn't
take some and
take
who
it.
didn't.
Oh.
But we're throwing that away. Doesn't
yeah,
matter
I
anymore.
totally would have taken it.
Yeah, doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
So you guys all take your hour break. Dad goes ahead and scouts ahead, and he's gone for about 40 or so minutes.
Okay.
Do you guys do anything during this time?
I want to be sitting down, find like a little rock or whatever to sit on, and I'm going to have my coin out. Just continue to try to see if I can connect with my god at all, and see if I can get any feedback or anything.
Go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
It's going to be straight wisdom. 16.
Yeah, you're not feeling anything whatsoever.
Okay.
Anyone else doing anything
Sketching
during this?
the landscape.
Yeah. You're getting like real scenic but depressing looking barren wasteland.
Could I ask if anybody has anybody been on this planet before? Does anybody know what that lizard was? Did we just establish like a new species? Can I name it?
Ira looks at you and she says, I have no idea what that beast was. Do name it if you must, but I'll be glad to be off this planet and never see another one of its kind.
I want to name it like Toasty Lizardess.
Toasty lizardess.
That's
Like it.
That's cool.
Toastiest lizard.
Toastiest lizard eye is what his name is.
She just shakes her
Species.
head and walks away.
Could I do like a nature check to see if I could turn into that?
Okay. Did you want to attempt to wild shape into it?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it. Or
the
I guess
beginning
you
of
don't
your-
have to roll
At the
anything.
beginning of your rest.
So you,
Yeah.
excuse me. You attempt to wild shape into this creature,
Yeah.
and nothing happens.
Damn.
You just like it's really weird. Like you're used to being able to see things
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
become them.
yeah.
It's just like nothing.
Oh man.
Why don't you pray to the dime planet god or something?
Could I try to do that? Could I try to commune with nature?
Yeah, give me a nature check.
somewhat? Just touch the floor. Fuck. That's a 5.
Yeah, nothing.
Man. This time sucks.
Carter, do you do anything during this?
I was just drawing the
service?
landscape.
Okay, yeah. I
We're
forgot
just
you said
having
that.
existential crises.
Yeah,
We're just like,
yeah. These two are having existential crises.
That's
You know what? That's a nice boulder. I'm gonna draw that thing.
So after about 40 minutes, Dad comes back and he looks at everyone. And he goes, "You guys are gonna want to see this." And he like waves. And
You don't know me.
Is it more toasty?
I'd be
lizardous?
surprised if you didn't want to see this. And then he waves.
That's fair. That's a good way to. Yeah, I go.
Let's go.
Okay.
I'll be the last one to get up. I'll watch everybody leave, then I'll get up, and Sebastian's gonna drop his coin onto the sand and just walk away.
Oh shit!
He's done. He's just.
A man apart.
I thought it was because you had a boner.
Everyone, you go ahead. No, I like that
No,
scene
he
of
just,
you
like,
being like,
Damn.
Drops it. He's done.
"That's
He's done.
epic."
Super.
That
I
is
like
heavy.
That was heavy.
Oof.
Yeah, so that happens.
Yeah.
And Dag ends up leading everyone through a bunch of brush and some boulders and down through a small ditch and then up over a crest. And when you guys get to the crest, you guys have made it to the other side of this plateau. And you can see deep and down into the vale. And Ira kind of exclaims at this point, "By the passions." And everyone sees, you see the towering battleship in the distance, but filling this valley between you guys and the ship are the crashed remnants of some small war vessels and whatnot, but scattered across these plains are just hundreds of thousands of bones and bodies. Like it's just hundreds of thousands of bones. So many bones that it looks like a field of bones.
That's a lot of bones.
And the smell of like sulfur and ash kind of fills the air.
It smells like bones. Like calcium over here.
And yeah, so
Sulfur
that's what
and
you guys
ash?
see.
Is it fresh bones? Is there like a hot smell? Is it hot or is it like? Is there some
no.
way to be like?
No,
Like if there's not energy.
it's actually
or-
quite cold.
Oh, super cold.
No, it's just the smell of ash in the air. It's like, we have fires out here in California. If you go up into the hills after there's been a fire, there's just a smell of ash everywhere, just like that.
Okay, so if I get a hot read on this, are the bodies positioned in like a certain way? Does it look like it was a combat, or does it look like
It
they
looks
got
like it was all out war, and
somebody dropped a nuke?
possibly. It just looks like the bodies of the dead were just left here, and there's probably just so many of them.
Oh,
And-
this is a dumping field.
Not even no. This is where people died
Oh,
here.
but nobody
And
nobody cleared the battlefield.
yeah, and that's
Oh,
what. And there are scattered, broken like war vessels all over the place, like smaller ones. Go ahead and give me an investigation check if you want.
I think
So
Sebastian would
high
be curious to
DC.
see if he can tell how long the bones may have been here.
15.
Okay,
Am I doing an investigation?
if you want.
13.
Hard to, it's hard to see from here. You have no idea, but you do remember Watt said that the second Goblin War was 25 years ago.
Yeah, so I'm just assuming it's probably from that then.
Yeah. What'd you roll?
It was 17, like just to see if like
Okay.
the sulfur and ash is like from like volcanic sort of something.
No,
like,
it seems to be from like the burning
From the-
of
okay.
the city and whatnot.
got you. Okay.
I got a 15.
15. Both of you can kind of make out like there's goblin bodies and elven bodies and dwarven bodies. And it just seems like just a smorgasbord of humanoid dead.
Oh wow. This war sounds not good, guys. I'm glad it was over.
So Victoria says, I don't give a shit how many bodies are down there. It's between us and our destination. Let's go.
We have to walk through it?
You see that this whole valley is filled with bones, and to walk around it, you would put yourself like 20 miles out of the way.
Oh, wow.
Fuck.
But I'll get bone on me.
She ignores you. And she just looks at you, especially your friend says weird shit. She just
Yes,
walking.
I'm still trying to get used to it.
He sure does. He sure does. I guess
And then
I mean,
Sebastian's
I'll
just
go-
going to
I'll go.
smirk and go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys,
the
it
field
takes
of
you
battle.
probably only an hour to get back down the hill before you guys kind of enter like the war line, and you guys become surrounded by just horror scenes of like skeletons and broken down buildings and crashed ships, and it's just this smoldering, broken old city. The roads are shattered, and you guys are making your way slowly through this difficult terrain. It's really hard to get through. Do you guys want to do anything or look for anything when you guys are kind of in this new zone?
Every time I get bone on me, I'm going to pat it off.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I'm just like constantly like hitting my legs.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, there's a lot of white dust from all the bones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
I think Sebastian would be looking just to see if there's like any remnants of weapons or armor. Like he doesn't want to take anything. He just want to see what they were using at that time. Just kind of like see the style
see-
or the
yeah.
stuff that they had used during that war.
So a lot of the goblin bodies have like weird. It's almost plastic looking armor.
Okay.
But it's black and gray. And you see there's scattered pistols and stuff everywhere, but you notice that the difference between like your guys' weaponry and the weaponry that's out here, your weaponry has like certain lights and like indicators on it that are lit up. All these weapons are all dead, just completely dead technology.
Okay.
Anything else?
I just want to be looking somber, walking through this graveyard.
So you guys make it pretty far, like a couple miles into this vale. It's difficult terrain, but the sun's starting to set. And Victoria holds up her hand. She goes, I think we're going to have to call it a night. We need to find a place to rest. And so she sends Dag and Dirk out to try and find a spot.
Yeah, what's like the closest downed ship?
These ships aren't like, they're not like the huge vessels. These are like two men
Like
in a
fighters?
ship.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
these are like X-Wings and shit like that.
Okay. I mean, we could still like
There's a few around.
you
You
could
can,
build like a lean-to up against one or something if they don't
Right.
find something better.
yeah, sure.
So it's what can I help look for like shelter?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
It'll be like Rey in Force Awakens, how she like chills in the AT-AT.
It's so natural and beautiful and small. It's a 1.
No. Yeah, you don't find anything. Just bones everywhere.
I'm just too busy getting these bones off me. I use my mage hand and I wrap a cloth around it to make like a mask. Keep the bones out my lungs.
Cool.
I get.
Okay, so Dag and Dirk come back and they found a thing. And as a matter of fact, yeah, they do a little lean-to between two vessels that they find, and it seems pretty easily defensible.
I didn't see this at all.
And so, yeah, you guys set up camp. Do you guys want to do anything before you guys actually take a long rest?
I just want to camp.
I want to go sleep.
Okay, so you guys are eating your rations and getting ready for bed.
We play a round of hacky sack.
And I need the three of you to roll a perception check.
This is Will's game. We look at shit when we
Oh,
sleep.
that's not good.
Did I roll another 1?
14.
Oh, that's
I
a
got
4. I also got a 4.
Persephone, as you guys are eating your rations, there's not a lot of conversation going on, but you hear a strange sound coming from like the outskirts of the area around you, and it's like this weird rattling sound,
Like, is it like,
almost like tumbling rocks.
okay, but it's not like wind going through like the,
I mean, you don't think so. but you definitely hear it. You definitely like that's not a normal sound that you're used to hearing.
Okay.
In any type of environment.
Yeah, Are we like sleeping at this point?
No,
Or
you
like
guys
we
are
about to go to sleep?
sitting down, resting, eating, getting ready for bed, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll let everybody know. I'm hearing some sort of rattling.
Victoria stands
sort of
up and
noise.
begins to look around, and so does
Where
Dag
do I
and
know the origin? Like is it southeast?
You hear it from all around you. In fact.
Oh shit! All around.
Very faint. And Victoria, everyone stands up who isn't. I can't speak for the two of you, but
I'm always on the lookout for danger.
right. And so everyone begins looking around, and sure enough, as you guys are beginning to listen, you guys are starting to hear it, and it's getting louder in volume. This strange rattling sound coming from all
Bones
around
are
you.
coming back to life.
Ass blasters.
Then you start to see all the various bones all around you begin to move, but not like skeletons.
Oh, they're like
coming up.
rattling.
No, they're not rattling either. I mean, they're
something
like
under
coming
the ground?
apart, and the bones are independently moving, and they're rolling, and they're starting to amass into this huge monstrosity, just made of all these various bones, and. It ends up forming into this weird amalgamation that looks like almost like a dinosaur with like a head and teeth and like claws, but it's weird because it's made up of many skulls and ribs and whatnot. And this behemoth immediately starts moving towards everybody.
It's like the bone version of
Bone
Envy for
Goblin.
Full Metal Alchemist.
I don't remember.
Envy was like she was like this huge dog made of like souls and stuff. So like
Right,
a bunch of different
okay.
faces all over.
Sure,
it.
yeah, it's like that. And Dag yells out, "Bone mites!" And I need everyone to roll
What
initiative.
the? Bone mite.